Every time I think about Nigeria as a country and everything that is happening, it saddens me because we hear the news every day and all of these crazy things that is happening around the country. And outside of that, the state of the country itself. Nigeria is a country that is blessed with natural resources: oil, gold, diamond, coal, lithium, and so on. Then we are now blessed with agriculture, with what's it called? With natural terrain. We have swamp forest, we have cocoa, we have timber, we have all of that when it comes to the agricultural sector. And outside of all of this, we are now blessed with humans, with population. Almost 200 million Nigerians. And the Nigerians that are living in Nigeria are more than 100 million. So how come that great numbers does not transfer to money, to economical growth? Why? We blame everything on corruption. But from my perspective, or from where I see it, corruption is not a main problem. There is a lot of almost every country in this world is corrupt, has some level of corruption. China officials. I mean, we can talk about corruption from today till tomorrow, but one thing that I know is corruption does not mean, or does not necessarily make everybody poor or makes the country like this. Yes, corruption is bad. I'm not campaigning that corruption is not bad. So don't get me wrong. I'm not campaigning that corruption is not bad. But this corruption that we are blaming always is what is taken away from actually doing something. We're just complaining and complaining about all these problems and blaming it on corruption or the corrupt officials, which is, yes, right, it's true. But to what level? To what level are we going to start doing that? Are we going to stop doing that? When we are blaming corruption, or we are saying it is corruption that is causing all the problems, we are failing to make plans for our future. Talking about the past, ranting about the present. What about the future? There's no plans. That is our problem. For there to be an actual change, there has to be a plan. There has to be a vision that we are working towards. What is that vision for Nigeria? No one knows. And that is the problem. For us to actually achieve something, we have to know what we want to achieve. Nigeria, we don't know what we want to achieve. We just are painting ourselves and making ourselves the worst country in the world. Yes, we are one of the worst countries in the world, but we are not the worst. I mean, I've seen a lot of people on here on these various apps, on Instagram and TikTok, that wants to be white so bad that they now start demonizing everything that makes them Nigerian. How we grow up, the things that we hate, our culture, our food, like everything. They're just demonizing everything because it's just they want to be white so bad. The white way is the best way. The American way is the best way. Oh my God. I mean, the problem, it is a psychological problem that the whole country is having, and I hope that we all wake up from it and just step away from social media for a little bit and actually look at your surroundings, feel your surroundings, live in your surroundings, and actually see all of the problems that are happening in your surroundings and come up with a way to solve it. Come online, come and talk about it. Come and talk about it. Talk about it in the comment section. What are the problems that you're facing in your environment? How do you think it can be solved? Now, I'll say this. I think Nigeria, or I know that Nigeria needs a plan. We need a vision. We need a plan. We need a vision 2030. We go to all the major countries like this, they are having all of those things. I mean, vision 2020, 2030. Dubai already knows what they will do in the next 30 years, in the next 50 years. They are already planning for it. What do we plan for? Even the present self, present is not we are not in the present, we are even in the past self. Our present is the past participle. And that is our problem. And that is the problem. We don't have a plan. Now, how can we solve that? Let's come up with a vision. One of the major things that we actually need is Nigeria Redevelopment Plan. Nigeria Redevelopment Plan and Nigeria Development Plan and Nigeria Vision 2030. That theory, I will explain. Nigerian Development Plan means all of the current or ongoing development or future development of Nigeria's real estate or whatever has to be pre-planned. It has to be pre-planned. Nigeria itself as a country should bring architects, Nigerian architects, Nigerian architects from all over the country. All over the country. Even students have like some kind of conference inviting students from universities around Nigeria to bring their work, their architectural work of what they envision for Nigeria future. Give them the sites that you want them to work on. Okay, Lagos Ibadan Expressway ni 300 square meter. We have 3 million square meter of land. We want to develop this to a new city. All of these university students and architects that are interested, make a development plan. These are the things we are going to be needing: a public library, a public an international hotel, an international airport, all of the, a state of the art kitchen, a state of the art apartment buildings. List it like that. Now, give it to all of these universities and all of these schools and make it public and let everybody come up with their own plan. Now, let them come to this conference. We will now choose the winners and approve, their work. Then the work can now start. That is what we call development plan. So now, the investors, our developer and Lagos developers, all of the developers in Nigeria that think they can take on the project should now come and take on the project with their own money or whatever. They own it. They own the project. But the government facilitates everything and makes everything seamless and easy and also planned. So there's no unforeseen circumstances. The driveways are planned, the roads are planned, the drainage system is planned, the electricity system is planned, everything is pre-planned. So there's no problem when it comes to the development. It will not be like that. That is Nigerian development plan. Now, Nigerian redevelopment plan will now be existing states and cities. The redevelopment plan of existing states and cities. Now, this is governors' problem. This is governors' problem. Governor and local governments. Governors and local governments. Now, every local government should register all the house in their local government. Now, there's going to be a problem here. A lot of people will hate it. That's for sure, because a lot of people bury their parents in their house and nobody's not living there again. So Vision 2030 will now be about the vision that we have for 2030. How many of these development plans do we hope to have achieved by 2030? And how can we achieve it before 2030? There has to be numbers. Everything is based on numbers. That's why you will see all of those American movies with their numbers. The numbers has to be straight and correct. So you will have talked about the weather, talked about the possible problems, like all of the possibilities. You put it into account. Then make a number of how many hours it will take to work a day for you to achieve this in 6 months. You get what I'm saying? So all of that will be put into consideration. Now, there will be a private-public relationship, private-public partnership of government and private institutions. That is what will help this to actually work, because government doesn't have the money deposits that we need for these projects. And the private companies that have this are not sure or are afraid of security when it comes to their properties and stuff like that. You get what I'm saying? Their properties. So we have to have a very, very transparent public-private institution relationship. That's how things will work. And even partnership with international brands also, or international developers and stuff like that. If they are making, you have to cage them into it. It's like this area is where the international developers can work. This area is where the national developers. Certain area is where the national developers can work. You have to be straight and candid with whatever you are doing, or with whatever we are doing. Sorry, let me go back. So that is the vision 2030, where we start working towards 2030. Okay, we can say make Lagos clean again. Make Lagos clean. Make Lagos clean. All of those smelly Lagos cleaning, all of those Lagos traffic, how to ease those traffic. That can be the vision for this year. Don't do anything else. Focus on that one alone. That is how Nigeria can be great. Let's pick it one by one. And when it comes to also all of these things that I'm saying, every state governor should be held accountable. Every state governor and local government should be held accountable. I've seen and I've known a lot of local governments that are paid to do projects in their constituency that will not do it, that they will eat the money. They will swallow the money. There are crazy news in Nigeria that has happened in the past years, when you say a snake went to swallow 30 million in JAMB office. Crazy stories of embezzlement, PR. Yeah? So Nigeria needs a plan, a vision, and execution. That's what we need. And as youth, all of you that you are watching me on your phone, it is our job to actually talk about this and work towards it. Because all of these old people, they are just looking for money. And when they have the money, they even have the money safe. It's their children, they are just ending it to. I mean, a lot of these old people, or anybody that is older than 40 or 50 like this, 50 by now, let's just say 50, 45 to 50, upward, 45 upward, all of them are already old. They cannot do it. They are wanting back camo. They are already receiving camo like, okay, let me just find a one life. As long as I can eat and have shelter over my head, that's okay. Nothing that camo. But us that we are still young. Every young Nigerian that is exposed to this social media, you are exposed. The world right now is a very vast world of information. Like, social media has changed everything. Everybody has lots of exposure to a lot of things, be it art, be it creative, whatever, anything that is creative. A lot of people just you have access to it through social media. So let's use that to our advantage. We have the power in our hands. Let's make use of that power. Very Dark Man has tried. All of these podcasters won't try best thing. And Arise News, God bless Arise News. Arise News is trying. They are trying. Arise News, you very funny. You are good. You're very good. I love the way everything is articulated on that show. I love the way the news is carried. Oh my god, I love Arise News. Like, I don't watch any other news except from Arise News anymore, because Arise News is just so good that they will talk about issues and articulate them in a way that you will understand. They will break everything down and let you understand that this is not just about you, it's about us, it's about every one of us as Nigerians. And I love that about them. And that's what I'm saying. And the fact that even the people or the newscasters on Arise News are kind of privileged because, of course, they are middle class or upper class citizens. So they can afford, to buy their own house and buy their own car and buy their own food or whatever. They acknowledge that while also speaking for the average Nigerians that don't have, all of those privileges that they have. So I love that. I love that about them. I love their honesty, their cool, straightforward analysis of issues. I love it. I love it. And this is what every one of us should. I'm not a journalist. I'm not even good at this. You get what I'm saying? But I'm trying to get this out there, because when I think about it, or when I'm finishing school real soon, and now I start thinking about jobs and stuff like that, and I'm like, oh my god, this will not be fun. It will not be fun. And that is the problem of Nigerians. That is the problem every Nigerian is facing every day. They're like, okay, I'm doing this. Especially as Ibawugoni results my daddy. When are we going to get the results from this? When? I'm doing this. When exactly is it going to show? Basic necessities someone cannot afford. Basic. I'm talking about food. Gas, tomatoes, pepper. All basic, very, very basic. Even if you can afford pepper and tomatoes. And I know a lot of people will be wanting help from other parties or other countries. There is no country that wants to help without taking something. Even China, that is at least giving something. They are still collecting more than they are giving. And that is the reality of things. And that is why, as a Nigerian patriot, we have to love our country first. If we don't love our country and put our country first, there's no way things will be better. Things will not be better for you nor your family. So we need to work together and love Nigeria and find a way to make Nigeria great again. Partnership. A lot of businesses in Nigeria right now, and that's one of the major reasons why they don't go far, why they are not big, American businesses, just because everything is monopoly. Nobody is doing partnership. Everything is monopoly. There are little to no, except from tech, there are little to no partnership when it comes to Nigerian businesses. Everybody wants to do their business and make their own money. Nobody's partnering up. You have to think about the big. That's one of the problems of Nigerians. We always think about today. Let me have the money. Let me have money now. Let me bomb. Let me come and go today. Let me do this. Let me do that. Nobody's thinking about the long run, and that's one of the problems that we have in Nigeria. That's one of the problems Nigeria itself has. We don't think about the future. We don't think about the indefinite future. We're just thinking about now. We have to think about the future. What's the future? If you have a partnership with somebody and that person is holding 20% of your company, you're holding 70% of your company, you sell. Shout out to China. At least they are giving us sweets and using it to collect a shop from us. But not like America, that they will come to your shop, send you away, and collect the shop. That is crazy. Yeah. So let us work together as Nigerians. I don't know what we can do and how we can do it. I don't know even how we want to start. But let's start from somewhere. Let's start talking about it first. Let's start talking about the solutions of Nigeria and how we want Nigeria to be. And how we can achieve that. Let's start talking about that. Bless you all.